CTV National News with Lisa Laflamme.
No deal in the works tonight to end the CP rail strike. Depends on talks around that table. But at every other table in Canada, it can't come soon enough to save an already struggling supply chain. CTV's Alberta Bureau Chief Bill Fortier on day 2.
These containers normally cross the continent on rails. For a second straight day, they're parked. As a bitter labor dispute intensifies, the company and the union blaming each other for the work stoppage.
Yeah, they're not very happy right now. Neither side's very happy right now.
Around 3,000 employees are off work and on picket lines across the country as negotiations continue.
But the parties are at the table and they are working through it.
Each day the stoppage drags on, Canada's economy takes a hit, according to this economics researcher.
I think it's not inconceivable that we'd be talking about tens of millions of dollars a day in lost productivity on GDP.
It's spread out across nearly every sector, from energy and manufacturing to forestry and farming.
So have a lot of concerns for cattle, people trying to feed cattle. We have great concern for fertilizers.
It's a pivotal time with the world counting on Canada to help make up for a looming grain shortage created by the war in Ukraine.
We have a unique position to help alleviate concerns around a global shortage of wheat, but we need to see this situation cleared up quickly.
Voices are now growing, calling on Ottawa to force the federally regulated workers to get back into their locomotives.
The federal government should table back to work legislation immediately, and so that has been our position since yesterday when it happened, and it certainly continues to be our position today.
But the federal labor minister appears hesitant to take that step for now.
Here you have two parties that have not left the table. They are in the thick of it, and so you have to let this play out.
It's just a matter of time until the impacts of this stress on the economy trickle down to all Canadians. Several experts predict the cost of some things like gas and groceries will start to rise again as early as this weekend. Lisa.
Everyone is watching. All right, Bill Fortier in Calgary tonight. Thank you, Bill.
Absolutely, and you mentioned Ukraine, and that's put a strain on our labor supply, and now so is the dispute at CP Rail.
Yeah, this is the wrong time for this. I mean, there's never a good time, I suppose, but CP Rail, Canada's #2 railway, workers are going on strike. CP has begun shutting down operations across the country after the union and management failed to see eye to eye over the weekend. The agricultural sector is already facing shortages and higher prices because of the economic sanctions on Russia and Belarus, and this is just going to make it worse. Canada depends heavily on rail to move commodities to market, especially fertilizer. We're going to see a lack of fertilizer out of Russia because of sanctions. And Canada, it produces a lot of potash fertilizer, and 75% of that gets to market on trains, Cynthia. And we are only 4 to 6 weeks away in Canada from farmers putting seeds in the ground.
Right.
It's going to be sooner than that in the United States. And we now, because of the strike and because of the situation in Western Europe, might be facing a shortage of fertilizer. So it's not great.
Not great news.